Hey guys, it's Gabby, and I'm here with my very good friend,
Ibrahim.
and we're here to answer some frequently asked questions that we've heard since graduating high school and offer some tips about the college application process. I go to UC Berkeley,
I go to Stanford.
and we are both rising sophomores, and we both graduated from the same high school. So before we continue, I just wanted to remind you guys that we are not professionals.
No. But we are students, and we were in your position a couple years ago, and hopefully our insight and experience can offer a little bit of help in this really stressful time.
So one more thing before we begin, what are the college applications?
So we'll give you a little bit of a breakdown. The two main platforms that we're going to be talking about is the Common App for private schools and the UC app for University of California schools.
The two applications are actually quite similar, but the biggest difference between the two is that the Common App requires letters of recommendation.
That being said, you could use your UC essay with a little bit of adjustments for your Common App essay as well. For the UC app, if you fill out one application, that is shared to as many UCs that you apply to. So if you apply to Berkeley, Davis, and San Diego, you just need to fill out one application and check 3 boxes for those colleges.
So let's move on to some frequently asked questions that we've gotten. The first question we want to answer, when should you start your college application?
Yes, you start as soon as you can.
That's it. You start as soon as you
That's
can.
all. No, but seriously. Well, college applications are a huge task. You have letters of recommendations and transcripts and essays and all these things, so many components that you can lose track of, so you need to make as much of a cushion that you can. And in addition, life doesn't stop to apply to college, right? When you're a senior, you still have to be a student. You also have these amazing senior events that you want to be a part of. You have to keep track of all your extracurriculars and all that good stuff, in addition to applying for the next 4 years of your life.
Yeah, so even if the college application doesn't come out until later in the year, you really want to get that head start, and you can do that by basically looking at the past year's college application prompts and base your drafts off of that.
How many times should I edit my essay? That's a good question.
It is a good question. I would probably say as many times as you can.
Yeah, we joke about it up until the deadline, but it's pretty much true.
Basically, you want to give yourself as much of a chance as you can, so you're going to edit it like over and over and over again.
I think I've had, my final draft was probably my 11th or 12th draft. So don't be afraid when you have an idea in the beginning for it to completely change based on feedback that you've gotten.
So next question, what is a passion and what is a life-changing event? So these are basically questions derived off of the UC prompts or just the Common App prompt in general. What would you say?
In my opinion, a passion obviously is something that really makes you happy. It's something that's part of your identity, and if you took that away, then you wouldn't be the same person. And if you write an essay about a passion, and after you read it, you say, well, if I took that part out, that wouldn't be that different. That's a red flag on something needs to change.
I also think that if you write about a passion, a lot of your application has to basically go in line with that. It has to be cohesive. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you're going to write about a passion that you have, a lot of your resume or your extracurricular activities have to reflect off of that passion.
For example, let's say you're majoring in English and your passion is literature, but all your extracurriculars are either you researched at UCLA for biomedical engineering or volunteered at St. Jude's Research Hospital. That should kind of be a sign that you need to either change the topic of your essay, or even if you might want to change your major on your application as well. So what defines a life-changing event? When you're writing an essay about a life-changing event, the most important thing, in my opinion, is you have to define who you were before and who you were after. In addition, you have to describe what actions you took after that event to reflect that character change.
So this could range from you becoming a better leader, or you taking on a new activity, or even finding what you want to study.
Okay, next question. How many colleges should I apply to?
It's a good question. When approaching this topic, you really need to think about your financial ability and the amount of time that you have. So when it comes to your time, you need to think about how long it takes to complete each application.
Yeah, and thankfully there are a lot of financial resources out there that either subsidize the application fee or even waive it completely. Next question.
Next question.
What should I write my essays about? Okay. So, the prompts, they're intentionally super, super vague, meaning that you could write on whatever you want, right? Which is a blessing and a curse, right? Because you can get sidetracked, you can be super vague. But generally speaking, you want to talk about something very personal, something that is deeply embedded in your character.
Exactly. Let's say you're talking about your hero and you're talking about your mom or your dad. Even though you want to talk about them, most of the essay should still be about you.
How you interact with them, how you see them.
College application essays are extremely hard because you're not used to talking about yourself at all. You're not used to praising yourself because for like so long, basically, we don't want to be, I guess, arrogant or like self-centered. So this is really your chance to let yourself shine. Finally.
It's exciting. And remember, when you're applying to college, you're only a bunch of numbers without your essays, right? Your essay animates your application. It's what you are. It's your identity. Really.
Your essence.
Your essence.
Let's move on to the tips. Tip number 1 is to reuse your essays.
Yes. It's environmental for your heart because you're going to be applying to who knows how many colleges. And to be honest, as I said before, the prompts are really vague. And so they make it that way so that you can reuse them, that you can write about one passion, one experience, one life-changing event that you can reuse over and over again. Okay, tip number 2. Take advantage of all your teachers, especially your English teachers. Yes.
We cannot stress this enough. Your teachers can be one of your best resources. Just be really honest with them and ask them, can you take a look at my essay, and give them draft after draft if they're willing to, take a look at it and give you a new perspective.
Yeah, a fresh set of eyes will do wonders for your essay.
Tip number 3. Answering the question, why do you think blank school is good for you?
Yes, so this question is going to come up on the Common App because a lot of private schools ask this. Why is Johns Hopkins a good fit for you? Why is Cornell a good fit for you? And the key to this is to do your research.
A really important thing is to maybe find 2 or 3 programs that you like and elaborate on how you think you'll excel in those programs.
Also, you could Google their mission statement and literally take a phrase, whether it be fostering independent individuals that create a brighter future, and using that in your essay. But to make sure, have caution that most of the essay should be your writing, and so to use that kind of strategy sparsely. Tip 4. Have a cohesive application.
Okay, so basically what we're trying to say with this is something that we touched upon earlier. A lot of your extracurriculars and your activities just have to really be in line with the major that you choose on your application, or the classes that you've taken and the grades that you've got.
Yeah, so try to take a step back in your application. Don't isolate the essay from the GPA to the major to the extracurriculars. They should all be a cohesive kind of line. There should be a link to everything.
Tip number 5.
You're going to love this one.
The SAT isn't that huge.
Really, it really is just a number. Not to say that you should try your best and study on the SAT. It is a part of the application.
Of course.
But if your SAT score isn't quite in that quartile range that the colleges post, don't worry about it.
There are so many other components that contribute to who you are, I guess. And as we said before, the essays really are the biggest, most important part.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's a 4-hour test, and the college admissions officers know that. Our last tip is...
have fun!
Especially during senior year.
Exactly. Don't let the college application process, bog you down.
That's a good quote. Handmaid's Tale. Make sure to enjoy your last moments in high school. You're not going to be around these people for much longer, which is a good thing and a bad thing. But, no, seriously, enjoy your last year. It's a wonderful, amazing year.
The last thing I wanted to say is good luck.
We know it's a really stressful time, but we all get through it, and we get through it together.
And it'll all fall into place in the end.
Good luck!
Bye, guys! So let's get started. Tip number 1. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself 2018. Basically... Oh, I don't know what I was going to say. We know it's a stressful time, but what am I going to say? What do I...
Have fun.
During senior year especially.
Yes.
It's your last year in high school. You're not gonna be.